Coach Accelerator program is a professional development program for elite coaches. So we don't try and teach the coaches how to coach their sport-specific skills. It's aimed more at the generic coaching skills, or if you want to put it another way, the art of coaching. The first intake came into the program in April of 2009. There was a very, very robust selection process which took about at least 6 weeks. There was a series of interviews. There was also a series of role plays that they had to do through Sheffield, which was an HR company. Psychological testing, an application process, referee reports. So it was quite a prolonged selection process, probably the most robust selection process of any coach in the history of New Zealand sport.
Generally, you'd find that most sports have the same issues or same dealings with athletes and coaches and management. It's just the technical side of the sport that's really different.
One of the things that I was really keen to do was to bring coaches together from different sporting backgrounds, whether it be team, whether it be individual, all the different types of sports, because I felt that establishing a community of practice whereby coaches who are involved in professional development can come to an environment that's actually safe and supportive, and they can actually, for want of a better word, expose themselves a little bit in terms of their vulnerabilities and say, hey guys, I'm having trouble in this area. What do you reckon? How can I fix it? Whereas in a normal high performance environment within a sport, the opportunity to have those sorts of discussions is often very limited, because either half the people in the room are looking at you thinking, I want your job because you're the head coach, and therefore they're being hypercritical of you, or they're just not that experienced or knowledgeable enough. So to have coaches from all these different environments with all these different experiences and being able to interact with each other and bounce ideas off each other has been hugely valuable, and I think the coaches would acknowledge that.
To be able to lean on other national coaches who are coaching at the highest level is invaluable. You don't get that from your own organisations.
In Coach Accelerator, you get that opportunity to share ideas and to, I guess, you can be a bit more vulnerable because you are, as a coach, you're pretty much on your own, and you get that group to work with and provide that support.
It wasn't competitive. As you said, everyone came from different sports, so we were able to be really honest and sort of leave no stone unturned in terms of exposing yourself, I guess, as a coach, and allowing and trusting others to give you, high quality feedback.
Learning from those other coaches' experiences is definitely something you can put in the back pocket and say, right, well, hey, I know so-and-so's had an experience in this, and this is how he dealt with it. Maybe I could do it that way too and see what happens. Or, yeah, I think that's a positive. Or, actually, they dealt with it and it wasn't that great, so don't go down that path.
We've, hosted each other in our own environments and watched each other and learnt a lot from, why we do what we do, where we are. And I think that's grown our ability to understand where each of us is coming from. So it's a support network that you'll always have.
The 5 other coaches on this course has been a game breaker for me, because they've actually given me belief that the way I coach is actually getting results, and they've kept me true to form.
We've been through some funny experiences and some testing ones as well, and through that there's a bond and there's a kindredship because we're all involved in coaching. So coaching's something that has good times, but it has hard times too, and it's just nice to have the opportunity to speak to people who understand that.
In fact, we've integrated with the other intakes, intake 2 and intake 3 at different camps, and that's just added to the learning and the variety based on more people, different disciplines. So definitely one of the strengths.
I've seen growth in all of them. For some, there were different focuses. So the program has an individual and a residential component. So the individual program looked at specific, maybe areas of need, gaps in their 360, or areas where we felt that they could actually grow to a point where they're the best in the world. So it was a program where we developed their strengths and brought their, the gaps in their skills and their competencies up to a level where they could function effectively. And they're all in different areas. Whether it be their leadership, whether it be their media presence, whether it be their ability to coach technically and tactically, their communication skills, their ability to sell a vision, their ability to read, their emotional intelligence, all those sort of areas that we've sort of touched upon.
Many of the camps and themes of each camp have taken you right out of your comfort zone, and I think that's what's valuable, and opportunities that I would never have thought of or been able to take myself to enhance my coaching career.
I've learned a lot about the pit and the learning that goes on there, and it's not a nice place to be when you're under pressure and feeling like everything's going wrong, but I've learned a huge amount about how to manage yourself at that time and maintain confidence and still come out the other side believing that you can make a difference.
It's quite hard to put into a soundbite, but you've become a lot more self-aware as a coach, and you also reflect a lot more as a coach, so you can improve day to day rather than have to. You learn from yourself. You learn methods of how to go about it. It's been huge for my development and will continue to be so.
Well, we've just selected a 4th intake of the Coach Accelerator program. The original idea of the program was that there would only be 3 intakes, but the program has been successful to the point where the board of high performance sport has decided that we would carry on with the program. So the program, as I said, has evolved, and so we've changed the parameters of the program a wee bit, so that we're being a little bit more inclusive of, rather than just restricting it to elite coaches, we will now consider people who are maybe development coaches. We will consider people who are maybe sports scientists who want to make the transition into coaching. So we've expanded the scope of the program in terms of who we select. Our program was based loosely on a program that was run in the UK, but we've tried to adapt it and change it to the circumstance or the context of New Zealand. And to be fair, I haven't really looked at that program in great detail. We took some of the basic principles and then we tried to contextualise it to the New Zealand conditions. And as the program has gone on, it's evolved and taken sort of different turns depending on where we felt that the group was heading or what their individual and group needs were. So as far as comparisons with other programs around the world, I don't think there is anything that's as unique as this program. And in fact, one of the guys who's on our advisory group is a professor of sport and social theory in the UK, who is intimately involved in coach education over there and researches coach education and coach development. Says it is a pretty unique program around the world.
Well, I'm unsure what other countries do, but I guess being involved in this course for 3 years, I sort of know the value of what it's done for me as personally as a coach, and also looking at the other 5 coaches and seeing how they've evolved. Can only be great for New Zealand sport. The
collaboration that has been achieved by this program has surely got to be a benefit to New Zealand sport, and there's too many people operating in silos, and having the opportunity to connect and network and leverage ideas off each other is a huge benefit.
I've really loved it. There's been the various camps which have allowed us to be exposed to different lecturers who've been great. I've introduced some of those things into the All Black environment.
We always get a really clear message that we are important and that we have a really important job and that it is high performance and it is cutthroat, and therefore there are expectations at the end of it.
I feel pretty proud, to be honest. It was extremely challenging, to get into the course in the first place, and we've certainly been exposed to some high quality people, some high quality information, and being able to turn that into some knowledge that hopefully helps some players in the future has been huge.